All right, so I've got the scene going on, and what I think I would like to do next is add some fluid physics. Just maybe some splashing happening, or maybe some things dripping from the ceiling, whatever. Rather than, I think what I want to do is actually use physics in this case. So let's go ahead and take a look at doing that. I'm going to get the background out of the way for the moment. And let's just go ahead and we'll add a mesh. We'll do an icosphere. I'm going to just roughly place it at the base of this rock. I'm going to scale it down, but I don't want to scale it down too much. Scaling can be problematic if you get too small of a scale when you're dealing with physics. So I'm just going to take it down a little bit. Get it kind of roughed in, and then fine tune it later. Okay, so that's all great. If I go to my physics tab, I can go to fluid and add that. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell it, I'm going to select flow. I'm going to specify that I want it to be liquid. And rather than geometry, I'm going to do inflow. I'm going to also check the box for initial velocity, and I'm going to take the initial velocity and z up a little bit. And then if I go ahead and I push play, nothing happens. Because we need to have a little bit more information here. So it needs to know this, the water, the fluid needs to know if there's a boundary within which it exists and if there's other objects that it'll interact with, and how so. So let's go ahead and do that as well. If I add another mesh, this time I'll do a cube. And let's move it back a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scale this up. Kind of defining the area within which this liquid will interact. And then I can go ahead and with the box selected, I can go ahead and add fluid to that as well. And I can go ahead and I can choose that this will be the domain. I'm going to specify that this is a liquid. And then, oh, I'm going to check the mesh box. Yep. Now I can kind of see what's going on. And let's go ahead and push play. And there we go. We've got fluid happening. Yay. Now it's not quite doing what I want. It's going straight through. So there's a couple of things we can do here. Let me just go back to the initial frame. And if, for example, I grab this cube, one thing I could do is just grab it and move it up so that it roughly corresponds with, or specifically corresponds with, where this floor is. And if I go ahead and play again, oh, I was off a little bit. Not that this is my finished strategy here, but let's just eke it up a bit more yet. Okay, so an improvement, but we can certainly do better than that. I'm actually going to move it back down a bit. And one of the things that I'm going to do is set these items up to be able to actually interact with it. So if I go to my floor, I've already got collision set up, separate issue for when I set up this bag. But I can add fluid to that. And I can tell this to be an effector. And oh no, leave that. Don't change that. All right, now if I go ahead and push play. Oh, I should have gone back to the beginning. Well, that's all right. We'll wait a minute and let it do its thing. All right, so here we go. Let's make another adjustment or two. So let's slide this cube down a bit more. And I'm also going to apply fluid dynamics to this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push that this is an effector. I'm going to go ahead and push play again, and we'll give it a minute and see where we get. Let's take it back to the beginning. Okay, so there we go. I've now applied it to here, to the base and to the rock, and we can see that it is definitely having an impact. Definitely some tweaking and changes that have to be made, and I will do that in the next video, fine-tuning things so that this is a little bit more realistic, but at least at the moment we have a simple fluid physics effect that is kind of working.